Windows 11's latest security update is reportedly causing dropped frames and artifacting in games, and Nvidia says the fix right now is to just uninstall it.
Because that's how many core issues it had, such as high system requirements, 2 settings apps, pre-installing apps you can't use, online-only installation, ads in the installation, ads in the start menu, ads in the file explorer, pop-up ads for Bing, Edge, spyware.
We don't know, but it finally seems to have broken through that Windows 11 has a trust problem.
Microsoft just unleashed a disaster with the Windows 11 latest security update. And it's nothing short of a catastrophic failure. Gamers, especially those with Nvidia graphics cards, are facing unbelievable performance issues including black screens, frame rate drops, and insane stuttering that are practically making their systems unplayable. And now, Nvidia is telling users to uninstall the update, as Microsoft and Nvidia desperately point fingers at each other, leaving users questioning if Windows 11 is even worth the hassle anymore.
Some people are saying they have dropped frames in games and instability when playing games. And some people are saying that they're getting stuttering when they're playing their games as well. So there's quite a few.
We're talking games dropping 15 to 20 frames per second, screens flickering like a horror movie, and entire gaming rigs refusing to even boot up. This isn't some tiny bug affecting a few unlucky users with weird setups. Millions of gamers with Nvidia GeForce cards just watch their high-end machines turn into stuttering messes overnight. Nvidia didn't dance around the issue either. They straight up told everyone that Microsoft's update is breaking games, causing screen flickering, and turning smooth gameplay into a slideshow.
Nvidia is telling people to uninstall the latest update. In fact, you'd probably be better off just uninstalling Windows from your system altogether.
Their official recommendation? Uninstall the entire update and pretend it never happened. When a company as massive as Nvidia tells you to remove a Microsoft security patch, you know something has gone catastrophically wrong. This is unprecedented in the history of Windows updates. We've seen bad patches before, but never has a major hardware manufacturer publicly told millions of users to remove a security update because it's destroying their systems. The sheer audacity of this situation shows just how badly Microsoft dropped the ball.
Some users report major FPS drops and visual glitches until the games eventually just break. On the bright side, the latest Windows Insider build added shared Bluetooth audio. So now you and a friend can both hear people screaming in CSGO lobbies about dropped frames.
The Nvidia forums turned into an absolute war zone of angry gamers sharing horror stories. People reported white flashes ripping across their screens like lightning strikes. Games that used to launch instantly now freeze the second you click play. Frame drops so severe that competitive players can't even function in matches anymore. Some users reported their entire Steams libraries became unplayable overnight, with titles ranging from AAA blockbusters to indie games suffering identical performance destruction.
Yeah, I want to know how long it took to figure out that you should improve Windows in ways that are meaningful for people.
Here's the smoking gun that proves Microsoft screwed up. Every single person who uninstalled the update said their system went back to normal immediately. There's no ambiguity here, no room for debate. Microsoft's code is the problem, period. The pattern is so consistent across thousands of user reports that it's statistically impossible to blame anything else. When you have a problem that appears instantly after an update and disappears the moment you remove it, the cause and effect relationship couldn't be clearer.
Compatibility, network known issues, there was power and battery issues, secure boot. There was also even black screen of death on reboot after updating this. And of course, some people are now saying that they are still having issues even after installing this update.
Microsoft's first response was to blame Nvidia's drivers instead of taking responsibility. They literally tried to throw their biggest hardware partner under the bus to save face. Nvidia fired back hard, making it crystal clear that the update itself is destroying gaming performance, not their drivers. Microsoft eventually had to admit that latest bug fix update was bricking systems so badly that users needed Windows recovery tools just to get their computers working again. Imagine dropping $2,000 on a beast gaming PC with a top-tier GeForce RTX card, only to have Windows Update turn it into an expensive paperweight.
About 15 million people having these problems. But even though the number of these people is kind of sparse-ish, the severity of the problem itself is pretty severe. Yet Microsoft hasn't pulled the update. Instead, seriously, the recommendation has literally been to uninstall the update and just pause updates for a couple of weeks.
The timing of this disaster couldn't be worse for Microsoft either. Major esports tournaments are happening right now, and professional gamers using Nvidia cards are scrambling to fix their practice rigs. Content creators who rely on smooth gameplay for streaming and recording are losing revenue because their footage looks like it's running on decade-old hardware. Small streamers who were building their audiences are watching viewer counts drop because nobody wants to watch stuttering gameplay. This update isn't just annoying users, it's actively destroying livelihoods for people who depend on stable gaming performance.
Now, Microsoft blamed Nvidia for the issue, and Nvidia are now looking into it and saying it could be to do with KB5074109. If you go to Nvidia's website, they have information there about the issues that people are experiencing.
Here's what makes this even more insulting. Only Nvidia GeForce users are getting destroyed by this update. AMD Radeon owners are cruising along just fine without any performance problems. That proves Microsoft's update has a specific conflict with GeForce cards, and they somehow missed it during testing. These aren't small performance hits that you need special software to notice. We're talking about losing 15 to 20 frames per second in games that were running perfectly smooth the day before.
Talked to people before about how my own NVIDIA powered laptop became basically worthless after the latest update. I kept getting that black screen. I couldn't even get into the Windows desktop. And now they're telling people to uninstall it.
For competitive gamers running at 120 frames per second, that drop to 100 frames per second could mean the difference between winning and losing. In games like Counter-Strike, Valorant, or Apex Legends where milliseconds matter, that performance loss translates directly to competitive disadvantage. Players who spent months climbing ranked ladders are suddenly losing fights they should win because their systems can't keep up. The psychological impact of knowing your hardware is underperforming because of a forced update adds insult to injury.
And Microsoft hasn't released any numbers at all. They've just said that it's a limited number of people. But I've had some customers affected. It's just me personally, I haven't been. But I think Microsoft should have pulled this update either way, especially since these issues include systems not booting. I mean, that's a pretty serious problem.
Want to uninstall this disaster? Microsoft made that deliberately. Complicated too. You can't just remove the newest security update directly because Microsoft hides it behind the previous update. First, you have to uninstall the update, then you can finally see the latest update in your update list to remove it. If your system won't even boot after the update, you're stuck navigating Windows recovery tools, which terrifies most regular users. Microsoft designed Windows 11 to force updates on you, even when you turn automatic updates off. So people are waking up to destroyed performance they never agreed to install.
So what can you do? Well, Nvidia are suggesting that you should remove the update if it's causing flickering, artifacting, or stuttering or anything like that on your computer when you're playing games.
The uninstall process itself has become a nightmare, with users reporting it takes anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours depending on system configuration. Some users discovered that even after successfully removing the update, Windows attempts to reinstall it automatically within days, unless you manually hide it using registry edits or third-party tools. Microsoft has essentially created a situation where fighting against their broken update requires technical knowledge that most average users simply don't have. The truly insane part? The latest security update is a mandatory security update, fixing 114 vulnerabilities, including critical battery drain issues. Microsoft is literally forcing you to choose between security and actually being able to use your computer properly. Do you want protection from hackers, or do you want your games to run? That's not a choice users should ever have to make. Professional companies test their updates thoroughly, catch these conflicts before release, and delay patches until they actually work. If you're done with Microsoft's mess, smash that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more updates.
How Microsoft had their stock downgraded because people are like, hey, yeah, this AI thing is not going the way that everybody thought it was going to go. Nvidia has been having problems with their supply chain. There have been supply chain issues, and now we're seeing the cost of GPUs are going to spike. They're actually holding back, I guess, the latest version.
Microsoft just rushed this out, broke millions of gaming rigs, and acted shocked when people got furious. The fact that 114 vulnerabilities needed patching suggests Microsoft's code quality has deteriorated to the point where massive security holes are accumulating faster than they can fix them without breaking other functionality. It's a vicious cycle that shows deep systemic problems with Windows 11 development processes. Quality assurance testing should have caught these GeForce compatibility issues before the update ever reached public release. The community backlash is revealing something way bigger than one bad update. Users are absolutely livid about Windows taking away their control completely. One person said it perfectly. I turned automatic updates off and still found my system updated without my consent. Windows 11 treats your preferences like suggestions it can ignore whenever it wants. Tom Warren from The Verge dropped a bomb that should terrify Microsoft. In 20 years of covering Windows, he's never seen this many dedicated Windows fans abandon the operating system.
Hey look, we gotta keep shoving Copilot down your throat in Windows because no one is using it online. What? Our market percentage is only 1%? Ah, the all new updates for Windows. 1 step forward, 2 steps back into the abyss.
That's not just criticism. That's a 5-alarm fire for Microsoft's future. Reddit communities dedicated to Windows are filled with migration guides to Linux. YouTube, channels that used to defend Windows are publishing switching to Linux tutorials that rack up millions of views. The exodus is real, measurable, and accelerating with each new Windows 11 controversy. Microsoft is losing its most tech-savvy users first, the exact people who influence purchasing decisions for family, friends, and entire organizations. Microsoft keeps shoving features nobody asked for down everyone's throat, and it's pushing users to the breaking point. Copilot AI integration keeps popping up everywhere, whether you want it or not. OneDrive prompts appear constantly, even after you've said no 100 times. Someone asked the question that summarizes this madness perfectly. Why do I need to sign into MS Paint? Microsoft is using dark patterns to force you into their ecosystem. OneDrive sign-ins for basic file saving, premium subscriptions for simple video editing in Clipchamp, and AI pop-ups plastered across every corner of the interface.
I still have a hard time relating to not being able to tell that Windows 11 had a user focus problem.
These aren't features that make Windows better. They're traps designed to lock you into Microsoft's subscription services. Tasks that took 2 seconds in Windows 10 now require signing in and dismissing AI suggestions that add zero value to your life. Microsoft isn't improving user experience, they're destroying it to pump up their engagement metrics and subscription numbers. Every single interaction with Windows 11 feels like fighting against Microsoft's attempts to extract money from you instead of just letting you use your computer. Gaming on Windows 11 is getting worse instead of better, especially if you have an Nvidia card. The AI bloat and forced features are dragging down performance across the board. One gaming expert put it bluntly, Windows 11 is not being designed with games in mind, so why put yourself through the aggravation? Nvidia confirmed that frame drops and game instability connect directly to this January update. Microsoft markets Windows 11 as the ultimate gaming platform, while simultaneously releasing updates that destroy gaming for Nvidia users.
Until finally, someone from management pulls their head out of their rectal cavity and goes, maybe we should do what you guys probably knew we should do the whole time and deal with like bugs and stuff. Everybody go, we're swarming. Do they like to swarm at that time?
Yeah. The hypocrisy is unbelievable and shows Microsoft has completely lost touch with what gamers actually need. DirectX 12 Ultimate was supposed to give Windows 11 a gaming advantage, but what good are advanced graphics? AP is when mandatory updates tank your frame rates. Microsoft partnered with Nvidia on technologies like DLSS support and ray tracing optimization, then released an update that makes those partnerships meaningless. The contradiction between Microsoft's gaming marketing and their actual update quality is destroying any remaining credibility they had with the gaming community.
God, I hope it is. But that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be another problem right around the corner.
Microsoft's revenue numbers reveal the true cost of their failures. Gaming revenue down 9%, and Xbox hardware crashing by 32%. The Windows division, including Surface and Xbox, is the only segment showing year-over-year decline, highlighting the collapse of Windows 11's user experience and gaming ecosystem. These aren't minor dips. They're a clear signal that customers are rejecting Microsoft's direction.
I would strongly recommend, if you're using your computer primarily for gaming, that you look into Linux at this point, because I'm like, Windows 11's not going to get any better, and it's not being designed with games in mind, in my opinion.
Meanwhile, Linux is rising as a legitimate threat. Geog's push for native Linux support and Steam OS outperforming Windows in many games signals a shift. Linux is rapidly improving, without the bloat and forced features ruining Windows 11. Valve's Steam Deck proves Linux gaming works at scale, with thousands of games running flawlessly, and technical barriers for gamers are disappearing fast. Microsoft's stubbornness is driving users to alternatives that actually respect them.
That Copilot will soon be much more integrated into the File Explorer app, with its own dedicated panel on the side that can help you look and sift through all your personal files, because people love when we get creepy like that.
Microsoft finally admitted it has a trust crisis under Pavan Davuluri's leadership, stating, "Trust is earned over time, and we are committed to building it back with the Windows community." But this comes too late for millions burned by forced updates, broken patches, intrusive AI, and performance failures. Windows 11 is being attacked from all sides, and Microsoft created every one of these problems. Linux is gaining ground with better gaming and stability, while macOS attracts users seeking reliability. Gamers, once Microsoft's biggest fans, are jumping ship as Windows 11 disappoints. Microsoft is stuck between being an operating system and a testing ground for AI and subscription traps.